Season 4 of the Formulaeuroleague here in Germany at the Hockenheim ring. I'm here with Adam. Hello, Adam.
Hi everybody, hope you're all doing very well this evening. Hope you're all staying at home and staying safe, because if you're not, that's exactly where you should be.
Yeah. Maiko, I think, is he racing? Oh. Let's check the Mercedes. Yes, the guy who's second in the driver standings is racing after he broke his hip, and he'll be racing next to Simon. Simon, who has a really disappointing season so far, and then in the Ferrari we have Steve and Joran. In the Red Bull we have Tim and Donkey. Tim, who's won the last race after a really crazy battle in the last closing laps. In the Renault we have Lucas and Benjamin. In the Haas we have Monster and Paul. In the McLaren we have Killer 7 and Mikey. In the Racing Point we have Icy and Barry, aka Troy and Kai. In the Alpha with Karam, who scored points in his last race, and Rike, the driver who failed to score any points in 9 different races. Luke and Jelle in the Torosso and in the Williams team. The leading constructors team, Thomas and Felix. Oh yeah, we're already readying up. It's a bit early, but we'll be fine.
Well, it's a very strong looking lobby, Matthias, and it's great to see that our championship challenger has miraculously recovered well enough to consider himself well enough to race. Of course, the powers of healing not quite on the level of the late great Niki Lauda, but it's great to see that this championship is not going to be won before the very end. So hopefully, if he's feeling well enough and performing well enough, then we may have ourselves a championship battle after all. And of all the tracks to commence this next round, I can't think of many better places than Hockenheim, the German Grand Prix. This track has seen its fair share of battles, and more than one occasion has influenced the championship. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the drivers are going to be doing around this circuit this weekend.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this round. Michael with the 40 points behind Thomas, but 40 points, you can make it good in 2 races, win it and finish third, and Thomas needs a DNF and the gap's already with 0, but 5 races to go in Germany, Brazil, one of my favorite tracks, Canada and Japan. Japan probably might be already the title decider if Thomas makes a gap of 50 points. 52, and Italy and Mexico as the
well, it's like you said, Matthias, I think there was a concern that the championship may have been won, but it's not going to be easy for Thomas, given that now he probably thought for a little while that this championship was all but over, but now there doesn't seem that he's going to be able to get to the end of this season without actually having to win some races and score some big points. Maybe, as a result of this surprise, he may become a bit too lackadaisical or a bit too complacent. So he's going to have to keep his pace up if he's going to have to win this championship. He's certainly not going to be given it.
Well, I think Thomas just needs to be consistent, as he always is. Only finished once or twice. He only finished twice out of the podium this season, in Belgium and in Bahrain. But he did good in the last 2 rounds, first and second. So we'll see what the championship leader can do. Luke, who's leading the pack right now, but is going to be the man on pole, the man who finally gets some luck with him. After he got some poor luck in Austria.
Well, as I said before, Matthias, if there's any track on the calendar that can shock up a few surprises and throw us a great race right when we need it the most, it's definitely here in Hockenheim. If you cast your mind back to the F1 races back in 2018, where on the Saturday qualifying session, Lewis Hamilton had that issue with his car, ended up starting the race in 14th, ended up going on to win the Grand Prix, famously after Sebastian Vettel binning it in the wall and arguably at that point throwing the momentum of his championship challenge completely away as he faded to the latter part of that season. And then let's not forget last year's German Grand Prix, the chaos surrounding Mercedes' anniversary, the 125th anniversary of Mercedes, and literally a team that looked so calm and composed, chucking a few strange weather conditions, and all of a sudden they're tripping over their leader hose in their hats and everything else they could find. It was an amazing Grand Prix. Hopefully we'll see something like that today, but it looks like it's going to be a dry one for now.
Yeah, one of my favorites Grand Prix of all time, I think my favorite is 2009 Brazil Grand Prix. I'm a Jenson Button fan, and he of course won the championship in that race. So
I thought you might have said the 2011 Canadian Grand Prix where
yeah,
Jenson
there was
won
also
the last lap.
I was doubting what I'm going to say, but yeah, winning the championship or pitting 6 or 7 times and then still winning well. That was the longest race in the history with all the rain that was coming down, and Killer is trying to set his lap. It's going to be a 1:13.2.
It's not good. Yeah, I was going to say not going to be Paul, and Paul Air has just beaten that already in the Haas. A pole position time, I'm thinking is probably going to be in the 111, maybe in the 111s.
Yeah,
possibly.
Felix, I was going to say Felix good lap on the hards, and then you see Barry improving with 8/10 from Felix.
Yeah, the strategy call in this race is going to be important.
Yeah, I heard Thomas
me,
is going to start on the soft tyres.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a gamble on the soft tyres, but it will rely on safety cars to come out to give them a bit of an advantage. You can see the first 1:11 time, Darfy for 1:14, that's a big time. That's a lot more like what I'm expecting to see. But it seems, like you said, the top drivers want to go for the soft tyres, but perhaps the mediums or the harder tyres might be a better option for qualifying. It will give you more options in the race, plus a one-stop strategy is what I'm expecting from a lot of guys out there. But for the soft runners, a safety car is going to be key. If a safety car doesn't come out, and being online racing these days, that's a big if, but if that is the case, then a safety car is going to have to come out, or they're going to struggle towards the end of the stint.
Probably turn 1 is going to be one massive crash, because it's a really difficult corner, especially when you're at the end of your stint and tires are really on low percent and you want to box the lap and you just crash because you're too fast going into the corner. Happened to me sometimes. Well, first of all, I want to thank you guys for reaching the 100 subscribers. That is a thing where I'm really proud of, and I just checked it and I was not getting emotional, but it felt really good that I have helped the league with, just felt good reaching the 100 subscribers. I think everyone, it's a milestone.
Yeah, no, congratulations to everyone involved with Formulaeuroleague, all the supporters and the fans since the league has begun. As a commentator, I've only been involved in this project for a very, very short time, but I can already see that there's a lot of great individuals coming together to work hard to bring you guys the best online racing that we can find.
One thing to say, just a new roommate, Steve told me I needed to announce it in the stream. All team was just watch out. Every team can pick one track for next season, so the teams will have more input in the calendar and the season itself. Every team can select one race. Steve and Michael will select another 5 races, and then all the teams can vote for one track, which will be probably the season ending race. But I hope we will see Singapore back on the calendar, which was a really crazy race last season. But also Germany was quite a crazy one, because Marco, who missed qualifying, needed to start from the back and won it. So also been some crazy races here in EuroLeague in Germany. Sorry.
Well, as we know, Matthias, all of the cars are equal. For those of you that aren't familiar with how Formula EuroLeague works, So we're in a qualifying session at the moment. We're 18 minutes qualifying. All the drivers can come out and set as many laps as they want. Of course, it's the fastest time that will start on pole, and then we work our way down from there.
But he's getting a purple second too.
Yeah, he's flying at the moment. He's he's personal best on himself. He's 4 tenths up on himself, so he's not going to trouble the likes of Darth Vader on pole, but he may plant this on 3rd or 4th on the grid. So
to
get in front of Phoenix.
Sector, coming through the last sector, corner, sorry, and it's P4.
Yeah, so call that about right. It's a good lap from him. He'll be only very faster than him on the harder hires. So yeah,
well,
yeah. Paul, I think he said he's on the softs, I believe, and he's on the softs at the moment. Yeah, so saying, so 18 minutes qualifying, set your fastest time. Top 10 runners in dry conditions will be starting the race on the tyres they set their fastest lap on. Everyone below that will have a free choice of tyre after that. So qualifying in 11th, which currently is occupied by ST, is not exactly the worst place to be on a track like Germany where strategy is really
retired from the session.
Has he quit, or has he left the session, or...?
No, just he binned it in turn 1.
But that's a very competitive time from him, so by doing that, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget that will not cost him much other than the opportunity to complete another time. And at the rate of, well, the speed that he's gone at the moment, that's going to take some doing to beat that lap time. But it's there, that's the bar, that's the target time for everyone to try and beat. So at the moment, he is currently on provisional pole position.
Luke also really flying in his Rosso through the last corner.
As Paul has just gone second fastest.
Yeah,
P2 for Paul in the Haas. Yeah, so he's over a second off. But currently occupying P2, so it doesn't really matter how far you are off the fastest time. He still will be right next to Darth FIFA when the race comes around.
And last season here, or he got P2 with Lucas, but season 2 or season 3, sorry, was a real different area than it is now. Mikey in the McLaren is P7. Rike, the man who is failed to score a point. It's still a single race, so I feel for him, but yeah, Maiko also on the same strategy as Thomas is, and he already invalidated this lap, but is giving his teammate a slipstream, aka Simon.
So don't forget, guys, on the YouTube channel, this is being streamed live on the Formula EuroLeague YouTube channel. As Matthias has just said, we are now over 100 subscribers, so thank you very, very much for your support. And we hope to obviously keep bringing you great entertainment and great racing online. So please keep supporting us. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. That's Formula_Euro_League on YouTube as well. Thank you very much for your support. And also this race, please comment. There is a comment section on this live stream. Please comment in and we'll be engaged and interacting as we go along. And let us know.
Is to reach the 150 subscribers. Sorry for interrupting you.
Yeah, no, that's okay. So yeah, do let us know, and
P2 for him.
Let us. Yeah. Oh, great lap from him, and that's on the medium tyres as well. So that's the tyre. It's tempting to start on the mediums.
Yeah, just do medium hards. You have the favor of the strategy, and you don't need to be independent on the strategy on the safety car. So.
Yeah, no, that's a good tyre choice. Although if it were me, I'd probably be tempted to go on the hards. In terms of the delta difference, there isn't much of a difference between the mediums and the hards. But going onto the hards at the start of the race will give you much more options later on. And hey, if there's a safety car, you may buy more time and end up on the soft tyres at the end of the race. So plenty of food for thought there, but I'm expecting a one-stop race in dry conditions.
Yeah, if you start on the hards, you can also go to medium, hard to medium, or try and stretch your hards all the way through the end to stop on the softs. And that's a bit of the reverse strategy what the soft starters will do. ISD improved to P5. The Racing Point looking quite competitive this season, but only scored 1 podium this season. and it was in last race, but they are the best number 3 so far, so they are also the ones to beat for Red Bull and Ferrari, I think it is. Yes, that's a bit the midfield battle, and then you have Mercedes and Williams all way upper half. Felix on his
goes second
mediums.
fastest.
Oh, really good lap.
Good time. Good time. It's going to be key because it seems that the medium tyres are a good happy medium, to borrow the phrasing there, for some of these guys. I don't know if that is going to be the right tyre to be on, although I can understand Felix's logic perhaps, because he may be counting on a safety car in this race, which will give him much more options on those medium tyres. But still plenty to see. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, do let us know in the comment sections below, first of all, who you think is going to be on pole position. Can anybody beat Darcy this time? And if you think so, who? And also who you think is going to win the race. Bear in mind, qualifying very rarely reflects how the true race pace goes. Some drivers are better on one lap than they are in the race, and who knows what can happen. It's so much action.
Is there a question of the week? I think you did last race.
There is a question of the week, actually. Thank you very much for reminding me. So just 5 minutes to go in this session, guys. So I'm going to leave a question for you guys, and it's going to be a fairly easier one. So I don't expect too long, but I'm going to give you to the start of the race to let me know. So put in the comments. And the question is this. So, in the German Grand Prix history at Hockenheim, only 2 occasions has the driver that started on pole either finished on the podium or failed to finish the race. There's only 2 occasions where that has not happened. Can you name the driver? And bonus points if you can name the year. And I'll give you a clue. They're related. Both of those drivers are related.
Related
so I'll repeat
to
the
each
question.
other.
Yes. So I'll repeat the question. Yes. So I'll repeat the question just in case you've misunderstood anyone. Oh, sorry, something happened.
No,
yeah, you might do. It's an easier one, but on 2 occasions has a pole sitter in an F1 race at Hockenheim not finished on the podium or at all. Can you name the driver, or the 2 drivers, sorry, and in what years as a bonus point that happened? And the drivers are related. There's a clue.
I have 2 options in my head.
Well, don't reveal it all. Wait until
I don't know
after
the
the
answer,
session.
so it could be wrong. Could be. I don't know.
But let's know in the comments section, guys. I want to see you put those answers in and see who is first to get this one right. This one should be a slightly easier one.
Monster gets a 5 place grid penalty, so he'll be starting from the back. Here with Tim, the current race winner from last race, coming through the final 2 corners. The familiar corner where Charles Leclerc and a lot of drivers crashed in. Crossing line in P6. Good lap, I think.
So just looking at the comments section to see what answers are coming in, Matthias. So
Vettel.
Danny Hetkamper, unfortunately it's not Sebastian Vettel. I do want to clarify, on these occasions, these 2 drivers, they were on pole position, but everyone had either finished on the podium or didn't finish the race. These 2 drivers did neither. So they didn't finish on the podium and they finished the race, but it was only 2 occasions where the pole sitter has done that. So it's not Vettel, I'm afraid.
If like,
if you remember, yeah.
Dead ends on both getting pole, but none of them finishing on the podium or getting a Dino.
Yeah, so they finished the race, but they didn't finish on the podium. They were the only 2 drivers to have started on pole and not done that.
I have 3 options in my head.
The drivers are related,
so like
but
Dead
I can't
ends
really... Maybe, could be brothers, possible as well.
Or uncle and nephew, but I don't think Bruno Senna ever got a pole position.
So, if they said, so Danny's also asked, is it a current driver? I can't reveal that because that's too much.
No.
Anyway, do put your answers in the comment section. I'll give you more time if nobody's got it right. I'll give you more time throughout the race.
But it's on the soft and he's just behind Thomas.
He's just coming in now. So it's a very good lap, but the times are going to start to tumble now because Luke is now on an outlap in the Toro Rosso, who's gone 3rd fastest on the mediums. To FEOMG as well. welcome back to him in this championship. Great to see him. So his pace doesn't look like it's deteriorated much. He's on the medium tyres and he's done a 1:11.799, so he's very good in 4th place. Felix in 5th, about to start his final flying lap, ladies and gentlemen. And now bear in mind there is a bit of a lag on the timer, so don't worry if it goes down to 0 and people still cross the line and try to complete their final flying lap, as Felix is about to do that right now.
We'll cut on board with him. Oh, and
he's lost it into turn 1. And so that's his qualifying probably over. I don't know if he's going to go for another, probably not enough time. So we're on board with Tim, who's set a personal best in the middle sector. He's about 3 temps up. At the moment, he could jump all the way up into 4th place on the medium tyres, which would be a great job for him. Let's see what Tim can do as he comes across the line. His DRS is open, and he goes 3rd fastest. Great job from Tim. That's fastest of the non-soft runners. And Luke is about to start a lap on the mediums just behind him in the Toro Rosso.
I validated it.
Well, Tim's going to get in the way though, and he's crashed into the back of him. Not that it matters. Is there anyone else on a lap at the moment? Got Berry's on a lap at the moment in 10th place. He's on the medium tyres.
Yeah.
He was a 10th down on his personal best in Sector 1. So ladies and gentlemen, if you're not familiar with Formula 1 racing, the drivers can still set their final times even after the checkered flag has gone if you are on a lap. Because we're on board with Berry now in 10th place. Yeah, it's not bad, but I tell you what, he may decide it might be better for him not to do a personal best, really, if he's 10th at the moment. He's come across the line and he's got 3rd. Good effort. So that was a mighty final sector from Berry. Found a lot of time there, and he's fastest of the medium runners. However, he has done an extra lap on those medium tyres, so that may hurt him
later on
come the race. But I don't know if there's anyone on the lap that doesn't know. There's no one else on the lap, so that is qualifying, ladies and gentlemen. So Dar FIFA championship leader, despite retiring earlier in the session. Just the one run. So he's got the pace over 1 lap. It looks like he's got that setup hooked on very, very nicely, and it's going to take some doing to really see if anyone can topple him, but that's qualifying.
We have Thomas on pole, then we have Donkey, Barry, Tim, Luke, Maiko, Felix, Aardapol, aka Benjamin, Simon, Paul, Mikey, Lucas, Ice-T, Uran, Killer, Rike, Monster, Yelle, Karam, and Steve, who got a DNF, or sorry, a disqualification. Ooh.
Yeah, not sure what happened to him.
Quite close. The guys who set a competitive lap time, so I won't count the hard tires. From P16 to P1, all within 1.5 seconds. So then you have a big gap between Paul and Simon of 3/4 tenths.
Well, we've got about 7 runners setting times on the medium tyre. The top 2 on the softs. The delta around here between the softs and the medium tyres is around about 6 tenths of a second. So it's very, very tight at the front if you put all that into consideration. The harder tyres, another few tenths off that. But it looks exciting. The weather looks good. The weather looks dry, so it looks like weather's not going to impact the race too much, although that may change later on. Germany is no stranger to a wet race. So far, I haven't seen anyone get the answer correctly in the chat to the question, so I'll repeat the question just one more time before the race starts. Only on 2 occasions has the pole sitter not finished on the podium or retired. Basically, they started on pole, finished the race, but not on the podium. Can you name the 2 drivers, and as a bonus, what years those were in, and as a clue, they were related, and a separate clue, the 2 events happened 30 years apart.
That gives me a big idea.
So keep guessing, guys. I'm going to let that run until someone gets it right, really. So, Matthias, I know you're probably thinking of it, but you'll have to wait until the answer is revealed. So keep trying, guys. In the meantime, while this formation lap is going on, do let us know who you think is going to win this race. So still more guesses coming in. It's not Lewis Hamilton, and it's not Damon and Graham Hill. So remember, these guys are related. Lewis Hamilton has a brother that's raced in races, but he does not race in Formula 1, and I'm pretty sure his dad, Anthony, didn't race in this either.
Rosberg once won the German Grand Prix, but he probably started from pole and didn't finish a race, or could be so many people. But 2 of them are off my list. 3.
Well, I'll let you keep that to yourself now, Matthias, because no one's got it right so far. So I'll have to wait and see. Although, like, you know, as I said, no one in the comment section has got it right. So keep guessing, guys. As now everyone's being bunched up towards the grid. It's an exciting race coming up. Who do you think's going to win, Matthias?
I think Thomas.
That sounds exciting. I am going to go be a bit bold. I don't know, I think Felix's race pace is usually pretty good from when I've seen him, and he's looked very impressive in Formulaeuroleague from what I've seen of him. So I'm gonna go with Felix in 7th place. He's on the medium tyres. Didn't get the best lap in qualifying. He's usually a bit quicker around here than that, but it'll be good to see. Let us know who you think's going to win the race, ladies and gentlemen.
Or Donkey. I think he might get his first podium or a win. And Kai also looks very strong on those medium tyres.
So don't forget, guys, as the grid lines up, don't forget to like and share and subscribe to the channel. It's Formula_Euro_League. Help us get to 150 to 200 subscribers as we're about to get underway for the German Grand Prix.
2, 3, 4, 5 red lights, and away we go. And thus Thomas gets a good start. He does. He leads still from Donkey. Donkey gets a bad start from P2, but still is ahead of Kai, who's got a quite good start. So there's a yellow.
That's already the incident. The McLaren is sent spinning. And this SHR, and I'm not even going to begin to pronounce the rest of that last name, but he was sent spinning.
Spun. And Thomas leads the pack. Then with Donkey, but Kai is really pumping his gearbox. Can he overtake? In the early stages of the race, he's looking down the inside, but he's too far away to make a dive bomb. There's a bit touching in the back, but here we have Luke still P5, Michael and Felix side by side. Felix now ahead, but can he take the position from the guy who's second in the championship? Oh, and Michael almost spins, but he catches the car nice and easy. Felix and Luke both going wide, but Felix has the overtake done on Michael.
Well, amazingly, so far, and hopefully not to jinx it, other than that incident with Mikey in the McLaren, everyone got away and did a lap cleanly. I don't think I've seen
got
this
a really good start
in online racing. Yeah, and Felix is up into 6th place, so that's my guy there, Felix, up into 6th place. And yeah, no, it's a great start, everybody. Let's hope we keep this going.
6 and Rike made up 5 places. Steve made up 4, Monster made up 6, but Cameron's really pushing to his teammate.
Berry's gone around the outside of Donkey in the racing point, and that's a great move. Gone around the outside of turn 2.
Oh,
he's got the inside.
Retired from the session out of turn 1. And there's a safety car.
Yeah, I just saw the end of that. He completely lost it.
Or is he going to stay out? The championship leader in P1 with Guy behind him.
It's too early to pit, and well, there's me, the commentator's curse, saying everyone got away well, and we were racing really well with the exception of Mikey, and poor Paul qualified really well. Just completely lost it coming out of turn 1, and just got caught up in an incident, and that's his race over, which is a shame. Also, there's another car going to, there we go, sorry, it just did lag a little bit there, so...
Okay, check if anyone has damage, like Mikey or...
Yeah, look, I mean, Mikey's okay in his McLaren. It doesn't look like there's any damage. His end plates are intact.
Ooh, Isley got a really bad start. Down in 17th.
Yeah, actually, I just noticed that. His car looks intact, so he might have had an incident somewhere. Yeah, his car looks intact. Everyone looks okay. I can't seem to have anyone with any end plate damage.
There's Red Bull going into the pits of Donkey. Is he going to the hards and trying to make it all the way to the end? I think that's impossible. Oh no, he's going to the medium tire, so he'll be doing a 2-stop.
So he's putting on these tires now. If it personally, Matthias, I think it's way too soon to be even considering going on to this. onto the alternate strategy, and all that work that he's put in qualifying is just gone out the window. Yeah, and this is the sort of thing someone like FIFA would want. An early safety car to help him look after those softer tyres now, because right now he's the only driver on the track with the soft tyres.
And it's
everyone
in
else
his
with
favor.
Yeah, everyone else with the exception of Ice-T is on the mediums that's still in this race.
Well,
and
still also Thomas probably will get a better restart tire wise to the guys behind him, because his tires are more grip, is in one lap much faster. But I think those laps the safety car will stay out, he can gain on pitting. So for example, he'll pit on lap 9, I think. He can stretch it now to lap 11 or 12 or 13.
Quite possibly. But and that's important, because that'll allow him
Tim makes a little bit of a mistake.
So this is the last thing I want to get. As the pack gets bunched up, you've just got to be patient. Don't try to take too much out of your tyres. Look after the temperatures. Make sure they're as good as possible, because you want a good restart. But most importantly, don't run into the back of anyone. The one thing I see a lot
too many times. Yesterday in the league race, I forgot that the pack ahead of me was so slow, so I really must go off track, and I
was that Canada? Was that the Canada race I saw you earlier in the VRL season?
It was in, I don't even know the name of the league. In GTR or something. I just avoided the cars in front of me, and I just spun and took 1 or 2 cars with me.
No, you're absolutely right. And what's also important for the leader as well to consider, and why it's so significant to look after these tyres on the safety car period, is by extending the strategy and keeping the pack bunched behind, he's going to need to try and get away, get some space, so that when he comes back out, he's got a clear track so that the undercut will become more effective. The last thing he's going to want is pitting on alternate strategy and getting caught up overtaking and wasting his tyres, because later on in the race the guys behind him are going to be on much fresher tyres, faster tyres, and they're going to be hounding him down. So he needs to build up a gap as soon as he can whilst trying to look after those soft tyres. So there's plenty to play out for. Let us know who you think's going to win, guys. We've already had the first action of this race. We've already lost Paul in the Haas, which is a shame. And as you go, a 5-second time penalty for Karen Merrin Best.
Donkey now in last place. When everyone pits ahead of him, he might be in P1, but he will need to make another stop because the mediums. Oh, safety car in this lap, so Thomas will lead the pack from now on.
No, you're absolutely right, Matthias. Donkey, this is why I said I think he pitted too soon, and he's on the wrong tyres. You want to make the one-stop work, make the hard tyres, but he's going to need another safety car if something that happens.
I was going to go to the soft and stretch him and go to the hards.
I think pitting, he's probably thrown away all his hard work in qualifying. He was sitting in a good 3rd place.
Watch Thomas anyway, is going onto the throttle. He is right now, and he got a good restart. And we'll go watch from the back. Luke really on the gearbox of Tim. What can he do? Can he overtake him, or is he going to stick behind? He got a bit wide out of the corner. Is anyone going to press out of turn 1? Yes, someone is. It's Monza already above DNF or Haas.
Yeah, it's just such a shame. They've both gone.
Oh, watch Benjamin almost touching the gearbox of Maiko. Maiko might be struggling with his tires or with his pace. Now
he's going to make a lunge around the inside for the lead, and Berry making the inside. He's gone very late on the brakes, and he's made that move stick. And Tim in the Red Bull has fancied a little bit of the action as well, and he's got a good run. Is he going to leave it in there on the inside? Darth Vader gives him plenty of room on the inside, and now he's late on the brakes again, and he makes the move into second place. Wow.
I think Thomas will only be thinking finish ahead of Maiko, get my points, don't get a DNF. He needs the points in this championship, and he'll be racing like he always does.
You're right.
Maiko lost 3 places actually. He lost places to both of the Renaults. Luke is doing great in his Renault and his home Grand Prix.
You're absolutely right, Matthias. Yeah.
Quite actually, 3 Williams drivers driving in a row. Luke driving for Torosso, but he's on a loan to Torosso. What can Felix do? He got a better exit to Luke. He sticks behind him. Thomas struggling
Well, I
with
mean,
his tires.
Thomas is really struggling. I don't think those soft tyres are gone. Whatever reason, he's struggling. And Felix is now going to try and go for a double overtake on Luke. And now his teammate. And there's no DRS, ladies and gentlemen, but Felix has gone around the outside, and Luke is now fancying it as well. What is happening to Thomas?
Thomas now down
Sorry, what is happening to
place.
Maicon? Yeah, to Thomas, yes. What is happening? And he's managed to hold on to that. Wow. I mean, you were absolutely right.
Felix
I mean, he's
might
driving.
actually wanted to lead the pack of the Williams team to let his teammate follow him, who's struggling with the tires, and get away from the guys behind. I think Thomas might pick the wrong strategy coming up to the softs. Well, he got a podium in VRL, but this is a whole different race. He still needs to stretch his softs all the way to the end to make a stop on the hards.
I'm looking at his soft tyres, and they don't seem to be that worn. They seem fairly well intact. So I don't know if he's had problems trying to keep them warmed up, but the medium runners have just left him for dead. Berry's gone, Tim has gone, and now Felix is leaving his teammate. He's really struggling. I mean, you're probably right, Matthias. He looks like he's driving like someone that knows who his immediate rival is, and he doesn't want to take any risks. He just wants to make sure he's finishing ahead of his rival. And at the moment he's doing that, but can't keep his pace up because the way the strategy is going to pan out.
Still, I think Luke is a Williams driver. Officially, he might be holding up the pack behind him, aka the pack where Michael is in. A bit playing like Lewis Hamilton, holding up the pack behind him in 2016 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, in the hope that someone will overtake Rosberg. But in this occasion, he doesn't want anyone that Michael overtakes anyone. Jesus.
Quite possibly, but at the moment he's tucking in behind his teammate. But you don't want to let the chasing pack get too far away, because as the strategy plays out, assume there are no safety cars or any further incidents, Thomas may find himself behind Maicon when all the strategy plays out, and Maicon's going to be on a much faster tyre. But I'm looking at the back of Thomas's Williams, and he's not overdriving it, he's not pushing too hard, he's kind of just settled in behind Felix, so maybe he's trying to play the long game. As now we've got Tim going for the move for the lead on Berry, and Tim goes around the inside of turn 2, and that's a very bold move, but Berry's going to get back at him.
Switcheroo.
And he's going to be, but the racing point is going to have the DRS. Just say Tim set the fastest lap, so he's
down the inside, squeezing him out probably. No, he doesn't.
That's fair racing, hard but fair.
And still is in the lead.
He's back in the lead.
Racing point.
You've got Ardapple Gamer and the two Mercedes, Bob Tormens and Maicon as well, fighting for 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th, led by FVL Freeze. And Bob Tormens going around the inside. He's forcing Ardapple Gamer to go to the outside. He should have the inside of the way in, but it looks like the Mercedes has much more traction and he's able to make that move. But is he going to go in the stadium section ahead? And you've got Maicon right behind him. They're just wheel-to-wheel racing close together into the stadium section as the Renault of Ardapple Gamer manages to stay ahead of the two Mercedes. It's all going off now, Matthias. This is some great racing.
Yeah, it's also a track which provides really good racing, so no one should be worrying about bad racing on this track. If you look at Melbourne, Thomas really going slowly through the fast turn one.
Yeah, he got a bad exit.
But probably Luke just sticking behind him. Or is he going for the move for P4?
Well, we've got Tim is in the DRS now with Berry. He's driving around the outside him on the right side to go for the lead. They touch a little bit.
A bit of contact.
But Tim, is he going to hold it to the inside? No, he goes to the racing line. No lunge from Berry, and Tim really takes the lead in the Red Bull. He's got that move done. Can he hold on to it?
What an overtake from Tim, by the way.
Yeah, it was a great move from Tim. He was very well calculated this time. He went a bit early to turn 2 on the previous lap. This time he was patient, he picked his right moment, went around the outside with the DRS, and in the end it was a very easy move. Berry didn't fight it, so I'm sure that battle's going to continue as they're still right next to each other. So this one has still got plenty of life in it, this battle.
Tim was really probably now the best driver of the last 2 races. He's shown really good pace, and he might actually be fighting for a better, he's on a good team, but might for Mercedes team spot or even a Williams spot. And Thomas now lap 10, 24 laps ahead of him. What tire is he going on? Jesus,
Well,
boys.
he's on the mediums, yeah. He's on the mediums at the moment. As you can see, the top 11 are now... sorry, yeah, Thomas is in the pits now.
Thomas going to the hards, I think, or is it the medium? It's the hards. So he'll be playing the long game. 24 laps, I think it's possible, but at the end he'll probably struggle a lot with the tires.
Well, what he's got to hope for now that he's playing the long game, and he's got about a 6.5 second gap to Rike in front of him on fresher tyres. Yeah, but I mean, he's going to the end. But there's no doubt about that. The only way he's going to pit is if there's a safety car, which gives him the opportunity to put on. Yeah, absolutely. But right now, I'm worried to Thomas. I feel like his pace has dropped so significantly that unless a safety car happens, he's going to struggle to get near the front of the end. These guys are on the right strategy. They've got a safety car, bought them a few laps to preserve those tyres. These guys can go maybe till around lap 16, 17. Maybe if they're bold enough.
Need to push 6 laps long.
Maybe,
he's
but if they
faster Rike, so...
Yeah, but he's going to have to deal with traffic. It also depends on the strategy of the guys in front. And he can't afford to take his time.
I'm losing it and he is crashing.
Yeah. He's completely lost it, but thankfully he's waiting for the others. And that could be a big problem. When you're coming out of turn 1 like that. And sorry, Tim's just holding off Barry.
Almost. Look, Thomas crashing in the back of the Alfa Romeo and he spun again. Watch Tim and Barry win for the... fight for the track position.
Well, Donkey's fighting between the two Ferraris, Magic Alonso and Joran. And he's got in between Joran and he's now after Magic Alonso in the Ferrari. But it was just saying, as we've got Barry following behind Tim in the lead, it's just saying, when you come out of turn 1 like that, you're carrying so much speed, and the way that the car unsettles as the camber goes from right to left, the car almost bottoms out, and you've really got to control that slide. And if you're carrying too much momentum, and the rear end isn't biting, you end up with a bit of a tank slap out, and your car just goes straight into the wall backwards. And that's what happened with the Kerem. You just got too much onto the AstroTurf, and the car just goes, and you're a passenger at that point.
Yeah, look at Michael in P8, so he'll be scoring 4 points. If it stays like this, but probably it won't stay like this because we still have 22
Barry's
laps
gone for a move around the inside. Sorry to interrupt Matthias. He's gone for the inside for the lead. And Barry makes the move stick. These two having a bit of a ding-dong battle, and it's allowing the likes of Felix to come back at them. And also drivers behind to catch up, but it's Barry back into the lead, into the racing point. Tim now down into second in the Red Bull. These two have got to be looking after their tyres.
Better with the Ferrari of Steve.
Yeah, Donkey's got past Magic Alonso as well.
So he got a good restart from the safety car right up into P9.
He has, but at the same time, his medium tyres are only 2 laps fresher, and he's in 9th place right now. If he'd have stayed on the soft tyres, he probably would have pitted by now, but he'd have been up there with the front guys, along with Thomas as well, before he made his stop. So I don't know. He's in a better position at the moment than Thomas right now, but
I think Thomas is thinking about when Donkey pits, he'll need to be in front of him because at the moment
he's battling with a
going
McLaren.
to pits.
Yeah, and he's up to 16th now. He's just overtaken Killer 7 in the McLaren. Quite an easy move. Killer was not really fighting it. So I'd be interested to see Thomas's progress. But yeah, you're absolutely right. As Luke's now gone onto the pits, onto the hard tyres. And you can already see there, Luke, where is he in relation to Thomas? He's ahead of him. So, yeah.
Yeah,
So Luke was behind him when the pit stops were coming out. Now he's ahead of him. Also, Maicon has now passed his teammate in the Mercedes up into 6th place.
Luke and Rike are battling for 13th place, while Thomas is trying to catch up to them.
Yeah, it was a good move from Luke. He was in the DRS zone very early on. He's got the fresher tyres. Rike didn't really fight it that much, and it was an easy move around the inside for him. So Luke is going to be making progress. But that's, as you can see, as now Tim is the first to blink in the Red Bull, so he goes into the pits. perhaps a little bit early, but I'm expecting hard tyres on that Red Bull, and it'll be interesting to see where he comes out in relation to Luke and Darth Vader, as Felix also.
Oh no, he's coming to
Felix also coming. Yes, they're going to be on the hard tyres as they started on the mediums.
Also, watch now 2-3 for the Renault team, but both really looking strong.
I'm watching Luke. He's just coming through the outside of turn 1 now, and as you can see, Tim right in front of him.
Overtook 2 positions under his lap, so he snatched the final podium position from Felix. Thomas only didn't really, he lost some time with the strategy, but he only has 4 laps older Hartz than his teammate and 3 laps
Felix
older.
has gone around the outside. Sorry to interrupt the tires. Felix has gone around the outside.
Thomas trying in there on the
Luke.
outside of Rieke.
And this is an interesting battle. This is potentially a battle for 3rd place going on in this race between these two. And Luke's had much better traction coming out of the hairpin, so there's definitely less downforce set up on that Toro Rosso. He was able to just drive away Felix.
Yeah, Luke in
That's
the
going to be a
favor.
good battle.
He, I know very well he drives low down for setups because he can handle it, and he has a lot. Oh, Barry and Benjamin coming.
And FPL Freeze, yeah. So they're both gone into the. So FPL Freeze now leads in the Renault, followed by the 2 Mercedes. And Maicon has stayed out longer.
Where's
Barry is
going
now
to rejoin? Is
tyres.
he going to rejoin behind Tim or in front of Tim?
And there's Tim just coming around the outside. Tim's going to have the momentum coming into turn 2. And the 1 lap undercut was enough to get Tim just in front of Barry, but Barry's going to be on 1 lap pressure hard tyres. And he's going to have DRS, well they both are really, because, oh no, Tim won't, because he's over a second behind Ice-T. So Barry's going to run around the outside.
Ooh, this favors Felix. Is 3 wide. Felix already down the inside. Can he make the move stick?
Oh, wow. Yes, Felix.
Is now in potential P3 again. A really
great move from Felix.
Yeah, a bit like we saw in Bahrain,
nice.
but that was 4 wide and he got off the track. But this is also a really good move. So while we were off, the Dutch driver has.
So while we were off screen there watching the battle with Felix, Barry had got past Tim in the DRS zone in the racing point, but then Tim managed to get good traction and re-overtook him again.
Michael
so these
in the
two.
Pits. Is he going to be in front or behind Thomas?
I would say probably behind at the moment, but
still,
he's the
for
first
the championship.
Mercedes.
Yeah.
So now Thomas is just crossing the line now, so Maicon is going to be right out there, right next to him, and he's ahead of him. Does he know? No, sorry, he's not.
Behind.
Excuse me.
Thomas.
But don't forget.
Oh! Felix got slow and he let Luke pass for the DRS, which is quite clever. No, for the DRS, which is quite actually clever, yeah.
I don't know if that's a wise move, really, because Ice-T's got in the way of his teammate there, and Tim has passed him, and now Barry is up into 5th place. So Ice-T really not doing his teammates any favours in that
also
racing
Donkey
point.
back into P2, but he still needs to make a pit stop.
Exactly my point earlier. He pitted to get rid of those soft tyres, but it was way too soon. And right now, looking at the times, he's going to be well down the order. Unless he decides to make... I don't see those mediums lasting another 17 laps.
No.
He's back... Yeah.
Yeah, Felix, yeah, what can I say about a really talented driver? Showed a win in only his 2nd race in Bahrain, and then got a bit of poor results last race, and now looking quite good with potentially P4, maybe P3. Simon goes into the pit lane. Donkey now professional in the lead, and Johan behind him.
Well, this race is shaping up very nicely, but right now Tim
Luke has got a better exit to Luke. Is he going for the inside? He's not in the slipstream. He's too far over. Is he going to make a dive bomb?
Not this time around.
I just want him to make a dive bomb so I can do my expression of the dive bomb, which everyone Oh! Tim collides a bit with Joran, which allowed Barry to close up to Tim.
Oh, he's gone for it, but then this is for position. Joran's not being lapped, and it's allowed Berry a chance to get right back at Tim just as Tim was getting away. And
really
he swerves left, he swerves right. No, it's not going to work this time. He's going to have to be patient.
Yeah, my expression I did in last season Austria when Sam got 2 cars in one place in turn T, I called it a big ballsy dive bomb, and everyone just loved it in the chat. So
I'm just seeing in the chat, Matthias, that some of the guys are asking if we can see some of the tyre stats, of how old the tyres are. I can tell you guys right now, Donkey's on 15 lap mediums, Tim is on 4 lap hards, Berry's on 3 lap hards as he's got the arrest, and now Ice-T is on very old hard, so he's going to be pitting onto new tyres very soon. But Berry's in the DRS for Tim. He's going to look to try and go around the outside of the hairpin this time as Tim goes to the inside to hold that line. That's good defensive drive from Tim. Is he going to go for the switchback though, Berry? Tim seems to have good traction.
Also battle between Benjamin and Michael. Michael overtook Benjamin. This is for position, so they can fight.
Berry goes for a lunge on the inside. He's gone for the dive. He's locked his brakes and he's just hit him, but he's held on. Sorry, Tim has just held on to there. Berry went for it. Both laid on the brakes, but Tim holds on in the Red Bull. This is one hell of a battle. It's a rivalry. Since Tim has joined the Red Bull, these two have been having a ding-dong battle almost every race. And now they're fighting for the win. Very good drivers are both of them, and they're both fighting for potentially the race win at the moment. These two, it's out of these two at the moment in my mind.
Ice-T be holding up Felix right now.
But I'm expecting Donkey to put on another set of mediums. As he does, yep. It's another set of mediums. So
Felix
is...
just waiting for him to make a dive.
I think he's just waiting to just drive. Yeah.
He's got a really bad exit. Yeah,
well, I mean, there's a hard tyres 18 laps old. I'm not surprised by that.
Look at a really bad exit as well.
Yeah, I mean, Ice-T
those
is
two are
banking
again bing, ding, bang, bing, boom battle for
It's
P1.
now Tim. It's now Berry has now gone past Tim. Sorry, so that was off camera as well. So Berry's passed Tim into the lead. These two are swapping positions on a lap by lap basis. Can't keep your eyes off of them at the moment.
Yeah, you really can't watch another battle going on, but those guys really good, fighting for each position on track, each single inch of the track they are using at the moment. So 19 laps passed.
And both of them keeping their noses clean at the moment. No penalties for either. But Matthias, don't want to get your hopes up a little bit, but Maicon is now a second off of Thomas. And they're right next to each other on the, and Thomas is on, sorry, Maicon is 6 laps younger tyres in the Mercedes. And as I say that, he's just got a penalty.
Yeah.
So the two championship rivals about to do battle for the first time in almost a month since Maicon's injury.
Good to see those two back on track.
And Thomas has got a really poor exit coming out of the first sector. Maicon's going to have the DRS. He's on much fresher tyres. And this could be vital for the championship as it goes around the outside. But he's really late on the brakes. Got Odd Apple Gamer in there for some action as well. He might do. He's on fresh, hard tyres as well, and he's very pacey in that Renault. He was complaining about his qualifying performance wasn't great.
Oh, Michael gets too late on the brakes.
How racy is Michael going to be?
I don't know. He's also going to want Brad and X, not a DNF.
He's certainly pushing. He's certainly pushing. He left it all out there on the exit there, almost picking up the dirt and losing it. But how racy is it going to be if Thomas sees Michael coming up to the inside? Is he going to block him off, or is he going to try and just let him go and just damage limitation? Because right now, Thomas is probably going to try and go to the end of them hard tyres.
Michael saved it. He almost lost it, but he saved it quite good. Michael got a bad exit, so Barry has only yes.
Yeah, he does. Now, Stu, excuse me, I did say that he didn't, but no, the comment's absolutely right. Thank you very much, Danny. for reminding me of that. Yes, so yes, he does have a penalty, Barry.
I mean, oh, now Benjamin is putting pressure to Michael.
Yes, it looks like he's got a bit carried away there. He's not really staying in the rhythm. But Thomas has caught up to the back of Felix and Luke as well. So this podium position may not be out of the question. There's 5 guys in it, and this is key for Thomas. Something has to happen, like a safety car, to really bring him back into this. He's on very old hard tyres relative to the guys in front. He can hold on to them for now, but his pace is going to drop off towards the end of this race, so got to watch out for that one. But right now, 5 guys fighting for a 3rd place finish. It could be any of them at this point. They're all pacey, all more than quick enough to make it.
Thomas, is he going for the big ballsy move? No, probably not.
No, looks like someone's going to make a dive bomb, mate. Someone's going to make a dive bomb.
Someone!
I'm sure someone will. I mean, there's plenty of racing to go in this race, so the drivers just being a little reserved at the moment. They all know they've got to go to the end, so the last thing they want to do is make a move now that could potentially hurt them for the rest of this race. There's still less than 13 laps to go. I'll tell you what, Luke was very, very close to the wall there on entrance. To that swinging right-hander. But Felix doing what he needs to do, biding his time. Probably doesn't have the pace of Tim and Berry today, but I think he'll be more than happy on the podium. And right now, he's currently occupying that 3rd place.
Well, just driving good, no pressure. He's not really pushing, he's just trying to hold his position, I think.
Well, right now, because he's in clean air, he's about 4.5 seconds behind us. There's a train behind him. The hot air and turbulent air from the cars in front are going to really hurt the tyres if you're behind it. Right now, Felix has got clear air, his tyres are much cooler. As I say that, Luke is about to try and pass him, the DRS. So is Thomas. He's looking, oh my god, he's closing on him so quickly.
Big
and Thomas goes for the lunge as well. Yes, there you go,
yeah.
Big ballsy dive bomb.
He made an overtake done to Felix. Felix has 2 positions, so this might be tactics. He might be holding up Maiko.
Well, he's not fighting it too much. He didn't fight it too much, Felix. He knows that as long as he tucks in and stays with the guys in front, it's going to come back to him later on. As I was just talking about earlier, right now, the best position to be is at the front. Because of all that turbulent air disturbing the airflow on your car and the aero.
Get into the front.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And all this hot air is going to really affect his tyres more than the rest of the guys. And the last thing you want to be doing is all that turbulent air really heating up your tyres, causing them to wear faster, and it will cause them to fall off the cliff. That's why it's better to back off a bit. And Luke has got into that track position. Yes, he's got older tyres than Felix, Michael, and our doppelganger, or Benjamin, if you like. But right now, if Luke can pull away a little bit, he's got Thomas behind him.
Watch IST and Steve battle for P13.
Yeah,
also
it's not been the
battle.
It's not been the best day for IST. I don't think the strategy choice was right, and he had the incident at the first lap which really set him back. He's usually a much better racer than he's showing today, but you never know. There's a lot that can go on, and if there's anybody that I've seen in online racing that can claw it back and finish strongly, it's definitely IST. So let's keep a close eye on him as this race unfolds.
What can he do to Steve? Steve might be making a big ballsy dive bomb. Yes, he is. Is he going to stick onto it to Mikey? No, Mikey gets the better exit. Same for IST, who's on the front row of this battle, and he's still ahead.
Still, after 25 laps have just gone, Berry and Tim still only half a second separating those two. Literally, they just stay glued to one another. Every time I see them race, they're always fighting one another.
They're just switching honey from each other's asses.
Well, that's one way to put it. I don't
well, my dad says that when I was little, when I was hanging around with him, he said, "Do you have honey on my ass?" I said, "No," and he says, "Yeah, you're always sticking to me." So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I have different phrases for that sort of thing. I don't think I've heard that one before, but yeah.
It's Dutch. It's Dutch. Dutch language is weird.
Yeah, I don't think I've heard that one in Britain. Speaking of which, obviously while this is going on, it's Mother's Day in the UK today, so anyone watching from the UK, happy Mother's Day to all you wonderful mothers out there. We all love you very much, and hope you are all doing well. And for those of you that aren't from the UK, happy Mother's Day anyway. From me and Matthias and everyone at Formulaeuroleague as well. It's a nice little sentiment there.
Yeah. I don't know when Mother's Day is, probably somewhere in May.
Yeah, it's usually in May around most countries in the world, but in Britain we usually do it a couple of weeks before the Easter break.
Why are you so weird? You don't use leader. You drive on the left side of the road. You do everything the opposite as normal people do.
It's because everyone else is wrong. Well, the Australians have got it right. They drive on the left as well, so they know what they're doing.
But you just feet and stuff like that. I don't understand it.
There's a lot of things that we Brits do differently, and obviously
because Napoleon didn't conquer your country.
Well, you know, I mean, he got there, but obviously Napoleon, the Battle of Waterloo, not so successful.
Ooh, Thomas going for the P3. It's a big bossy diamond from the Belgian driver once again.
There you go. And they touched, but it's a good move.
And Luke kicks the traction in. And he lost two position. It's a bit like copying Felix.
Yeah, Felix was... I mean, Thomas was very late on the brakes. It was a big bossy dive bomb, like you said, and he made it work on those hard tyres. He's still doing a great job on those, Thomas, and he really needs to get away. But Felix, getting so close to Luke on the exit, he almost a bit of a bump draft. There was a video on the internet a couple of days ago where Lando Norris had a bit of a bump draft on Max Verstappen on an oval track and sent him into a wall. And Luke very nearly having the same treatment there from Felix. But the two Williamses up into third and fourth position. So it's all going off, literally the five of them, from Thomas to Benjamin, literally less than 2 seconds covering the five of them.
Can you check the penalties of the guys?
Of course.
7.
Well, we know Berry has a penalty. That we do know. So does Michael as well. He has a penalty too.
He ran. He just got one.
Let's see. Yeah, from what I can see at the moment, it seems to be only Michael and Berry as well that has a penalty. Tim has 2 warnings, so they're very close as well. And it's quite easy to get penalties, especially coming out of turn 1. You can cut the corner on the way in to try and maximise his speed going in.
The Red Bull team just asked, after I asked you to check the penalties, can you check the penalties?
Yeah.
And we read your mind there.
There you go, great minds think alike.
Felix.
Oh, he's nearly lost it there, but... Oh. Come on, Felix. Commentator's curse. Almost catching out Felix, but very, very good save there.
Me as a Williams team, also my heart just skipped a couple of beats. When I saw Williams, I first thought it was Thomas. Oh, Luke forcing him around the outside.
It's great defensive driving, but Michael's going to fancy a bit of this as well, but the traction of that Mercedes is not quite there.
Skipped the beats of 6.9. Jesus Christ. The team boss of Racing Point says Williams doing a team effort to keep Michael from overtaking Thomas. This is all Williams acting to keep Michael at bay. Away probably needs to be
I mean, it's great teamwork to help preserve the championship lead.
It helps Thomas, of course. He now gained 15 to 8 points. So he'll extend his lead by 7 points. Damn.
And Donkey's just got a 3-second time penalty
as well
on the
Red
Red Bull. Yeah, still, just 6 laps to go now.
And Barry lost the lead to Tim.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, no, I just noticed
really
that.
Forgot that.
No, I mean, Barry had a bit of a mistake out of turn 1, and it allowed Tim to go past him, and so he's retaken the lead. So Berry was getting away, but now he's lost the lead again, so he's going to have to pull that back.
Well, this battle for P3 is going on for more than 10 laps, so it's a really good bet. Train driving Benjamin.
I'm interested to see what Benjamin does.
Yeah, he might be really saving his tires, and just on the last 4 laps he'd just go flying past, and we don't know. Michael going a bit wide down the corner.
Let us know, ladies and gentlemen, of this battle. Obviously we've got the top 2 at the moment, but right now let us know who you think is going to finish in 3rd place. Bear in mind, Michael is the only one at the moment with a penalty in the battle for 3rd place. Berry has a penalty in 2nd, 3 seconds, so Tim's in the driving seat for that, but let us know who you think is going to finish in 3rd. And also, no one has got my question right yet. What is going on, guys? They're still there.
Give another tip. Killers haven't retired from the section.
Well...
Tell me which country they're from.
Well,
say VSC.
I feel like I'm going to give it... And sorry, and Berry's gone for a move for the lead on the inside, and he's made it stick. Oh, it's VSC. What's going on?
Give back to position.
Yeah, he does. Oh, sorry, I completely missed that. Yeah, sorry. You're absolutely right, Matthias. Yeah, VSC. But is he meant to let him through? I mean...
He has to. He might get a penalty for it.
Well, surely
because
he would
Felix
let him through.
Felix overtook Karam under the safety galoshes, and he got a penalty for it. Luke got a penalty.
Wow.
Yeah. If the stewards are going to be fair, Kai gets another penalty because he overtook Tim under the VSC, which is a bit of a glitch in the game, but...
Well, to be honest, Matthias, if the stewards haven't issued a penalty to Berry for that overtake, and then it's a legitimate move. So, as far as we're concerned, Berry has retaken the lead of the German Grand Prix. Having said that, he's got a 3 seconds time penalty anyway, so Tim won't know that. But right now, he's got to pull away a gap, as Felix has now got a penalty.
Thomas, the only one with Benjamin without a penalty.
Does Thomas have a penalty?
No.
I don't know if Luke has one. I'll have to have a quick look.
Luke has one. He just got one under the VSC.
Oh yeah, of course he did. Yeah. So yeah, right now.
Luke overtaking Thomas.
Wow,
Michael
on the
looks around the outside,
but
again not in the favour of the traction.
Okay, so I'll give another clue just quickly as this is going on. So the driver, that was the answer to this one, of the two drivers. They're not from the same country, but one of them is German. But the other one isn't. But they are related, but they're not from the same country.
Big brain time.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll reveal the answer towards the end of the race to that question, so let me know if anyone gets it right. No one has got it right in the chat so far, at least. No, it's not Maldonado and Grosjean. But no, very nice try, Lazio.
Oh, Michael got another penalty.
Another penalty. Multiple warnings, so it's tied around. He's probably been cutting the corner at turn 1 as well. It's so easy to cut corners and get penalties there. But now we've got 3 laps to go. Who's going to win this race, ladies and gentlemen?
Thomas
is it going to be
Berry? Tires really well, not gonna lie. He's not really dropping off the pace, but he just managed his tires really, really well with 3 laps to go.
I'm just going to check the penalties one more time, just to make sure. But as far as I'm aware, Thomas is currently sitting in a podium position at the moment.
Michael on BP3, he'd need to drive 6 seconds away from the guys. Well, if he overtakes him, he needs to make 3 more overtakes and then drive away 6 seconds. I think Benjamin could be P4, possibly as Thomas P3.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. He's sitting in a good position at the moment.
Benjamin being really mature and not giving away any time to the cars in front of him. Ooh, watch Michael for the dive bomb at Felix.
Yeah, so right now,
oversteer out of the corner.
Yeah, it's a great run now from Michael. He's got an opportunity here to try and make up a place, and this is going to be important because both of them have time penalties each, so this could be for position towards the end of this race. It goes around the inside of the Mercedes, and this time, is he going to make a stick? No, Felix got much better traction. But yeah, you're absolutely right at the moment. There's an incident in Sector 3. One of the... Oh, Steve. Yeah, the Magic Alonso. I was just going to say, one of the Ferraris was going very slow, and that's him out of the race. That's a shame, but not really been his best day today.
He's been out of the points, so...
But yeah, so right now, according to penalties, as they currently stand, Thomas is currently sitting in a net third, and Benjamin in the Renault, biding his time at the back, is in fourth.
Well, I think they're just playing a smart game with their heads.
But we're on the final lap now, and Berry is trying to get away from Tim. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, Berry has a 3-second time penalty. So right now, Tim is sitting in a net first place, but he doesn't know that. Berry's aware of it. He's trying to get away.
On last lap, you never know.
Well, Tim's got 2 warnings. He's going to have to behave himself. This all comes down to this. It's quite the anticlimax, but right now, we'll see who's bold enough and who makes a decision or a mistake that may cost them big time. So I'm also seeing in the chat, Salacia has just told me that Tim knows that Berry has a time penalty, hence why he may have backed off him a little bit. And that may explain it, because them two have been literally on each other all the way through this race.
Well, given the class to Kai, probably winning on track so far, so he wants 3 times on track, but due to penalties he'll lose his race win. Probably Tim will win it. Tim wins it.
There you go. Tim gets the win. But now the battle for third. Who's it going to be? And it's Thomas in third and Benjamin in 4th place. Felix
Michael down in 8th place.
Yes, Michael. Well, he had 6 seconds worth of penalties.
6, yeah.
So that's a huge result for Thomas.
First of all, congrats to Tim winning 2 races in a row. 100% win rate so far.
That's a great job from Tim. I mean, I've seen him in other leagues as well, and he has been absolutely brilliant. And he's done the great job again today. So GG to him. The Red Bull 2 in a row for them. What a result! What a drive! Gotta say, that was a great race. Who was your driver of the day, Matthias?
I think Benjamin or Tim.
I would always got to be Tim for me.
Yeah.
I mean, Tim qualified reasonably well, started the race well, great strategy, had a brilliant battle with Kai, VSR Berry, but the key factor is that he kept his nose clean, no penalties, and that is the difference between winning and losing, and it's 2 in a row for the Red Bull sensation. Great job from Tim.
Again, also, Thomas scoring the podium, so he's really, really consistent, and he's pulling away 11 points from Michael.
It would have been interesting to see how he would have coped if he knew he had the championship in the bag, as we seen that he did, but that result, it's a champion's drive. It didn't look like he pushed that car too far. It looked like he had pace to spare, but he kept out of trouble and did what he needed to get the result, and it's a podium as well. So great job from him. As you can see,
it's the German Grand Prix race results. Tim, Berry, Thomas, Benjamin, Felix, Luke, Donkey, Michael, Simon. Bad day for Mercedes compared to a quite good day for Williams. The last point is for Lucas, Joran, Ice-T, Mikey, Jelle, and Rika, the DNF, Steve, Killer, Karen, Monster, and Paul. Paul had a DNF on lap 2 after good qualifying. Double DNF for Haas. So yeah, what's your opinion about the race?
It was a really good race overall, to be honest. I mean, I was expecting more incidents or more safety cars. We just had the one big one earlier on, and then obviously virtual safety cars later on. Thomas, difficult for him. I didn't think it was wise to start on the soft tyres, as we saw, but he did well to recover and get a podium finish. Donkey, that early pit stop really cost him points in this race. But Tim drove a really good race, very strong performance, had a great battle with Berry, kept his nose clean, And that can be the difference between winning and losing in this race. That's really what matters.
Completely true.
And yeah, so now to the small matter of revealing the answers to my question. So I asked a question, and I'm kind of disappointed, guys. Nobody in the chat got it right.
Who is
However, Matthias, you'll be happy to know you actually got it right earlier. It was Nico Rosberg.
Yeah, I thought it, yes.
2016, Nico Rosberg was on pole position, but he failed to finish on the podium, even though he finished the race. The other driver, of course, Keke Rosberg, his dad, in 1986.
That song.
Yes, the father and son world champions of Formula 1, other, of course, than Damon and Graham Hill, of course, the others. But yeah, so well done to you, Matthias.
Thank you.
Better luck next time, guys.
And
yeah, it's a great race.
Yeah, and I want to thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you next time, next Sunday, same time, same, probably with Adam. So, thank you guys for watching.
Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, guys. We've just reached over 100 subscribers. Help us get to 200 as quick as we can. Thank you so much for your support. That's Formula_Euro_.